But tonight I wanted to share my thoughts, especially on recent events and things that's been going on. Because in the midst of us recovering from COVID and quarantine life, we still have to deal with the everyday trauma of senseless beating, patrolling, and mistreating of a group of people. And the group of people that we're referring to and focusing are black people or people of color. All right, I can't just say African Americans because there's Haitian Americans, there's Latino, there's people of color. So before I even get into it, I would just like to do a short prayer just to invite the Spirit of God in because it is a touchy subject. It is a very emotional subject for me as well, and I'll get into it. So I want to make sure that, even though I'm being authentic and vulnerable and sharing my thoughts, that I must also be sensitive to those who are listening and those who are going through their own experiences as well. So, if you will pray with me. Heavenly Father, I thank you for giving us a privilege to come together this evening, and all those that are hearing and watching from wherever they are. I pray that you'll bless us with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, give us insight, and I pray that you'll give us peace that surpass all understanding. I pray that you give us the wisdom to act and act accordingly, not only to your will, but we will be able to move forward as a people, as a nation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So I wanted to touch on this subject because on May 25th, the world experienced murder happen right before their eyes. It was the murder of George Floyd, a 46-year-old resident of Minnesota. And if you are a human being with a conscience, with a heart, with a soul, then that image was extremely hard to even weather. It was extremely hard. I cannot be angry with anyone in regards to how they felt when they saw these images. And not only that it happened once, it's just the fact that the images kept coming back over and over. I myself, everybody knows by now or should know by now that I'm a pastor, and my name is and I go by Pastor Gersh, but my name is Gershom Francois. Even though I'm a pastor and I grew up a Christian, I was a Christian before I was born. The reason why I say before I was born is because my father was a pastor before him and my mom, you know, gave birth to me. So even in my mother's womb, I was hearing the word of God. All right. My father raised me to be a man of dignity, of respect, to honor my parents, to respect people. And that's why a lot of people who know me personally, they've seen me when I've been angry. But at the same time, they can all testify and say, even in Gershom's anger and wrath, he's able to calm down. You're still able to have a conversation with him, and 9 times out of 10, within the same day, you guys will be cool again. I was never one to carry grudges and hold people in contempt no matter how much they've hurt me. And those who've hurt me personally, you can testify and you can say, yes, I've hurt Gershom in ways that he should have just basically wrote me off for the rest of his life. But he always gave me an opportunity to apologize. He always gave me an opportunity to make things right. And even if we weren't on the same level of friendship anymore, we were always still cordial. And I can go in public and I won't have to be embarrassed and say, okay, I don't know if he's going to pull my cards or put me on blast in front of people. Everyone who've experienced my wrath can say that Pastor Gershom, for the most part, whenever he's angry, he's able to calm down and be peaceful within the same hour. I've always been this way. This is how I was raised. My father trained me to be that way. And I'm not talking about you pretend like you're cool. I'm talking about honestly forgiving the person. Doesn't mean that you forget. You forgive the person and you're able to still function professionally with that person and, in peace with that person. The relationship may not be the same, but that person will never be put on blast. That person will never have to worry about me blowing up on them or anything like that. For the most part. Everyone can say that about me. So I'm saying this because I'm trying to make a point. I've always been a man of peace. Yes, there's been arguments. Yes, there's been dispute. But for the most part, I seek peace. Because whenever I'm in an argument, and I hate arguments, I like discussions, I prefer discussions. But whenever I'm in an argument, if you really pay attention to me, right? And it's not hard. It's not hard. You don't even have to pay that much attention. You can tell that my position in the argument is not to win the argument. Because at the end of the day, I really don't care who wins. What I care about is, do you understand? Okay? I care about, do you understand? And people will notice, especially people who know me, they know that I'm not one to get angry. I don't get mad quickly, but I can get mad very quickly when I feel like my words are not being valued. Or if you push my words aside and like, you know what, I don't care what Gersh is saying. I'm just going to say what I say. Whatever I say is all that matters. That's the quickest way to get me angry. It's not for me to win an argument. It is, are you willing to listen to me to understand? Why am I saying this? It's because there's a lot of people that are suffering, that are extremely angry, that are trying to speak and try to express themselves. But instead of those of us who are not in their shoes, rather than listening with the ear of understanding, we listen with the ear of defense, like we're ready to respond. What we need is for everyone who's not black, right? Everyone who's not black or people of color to not try to respond to the anger and frustration of their neighbors who are colored. Don't answer to respond. Don't listen to respond. You need to listen to understand, because at the end of the day, you will never understand completely. It's the same thing that if you're married, you will never fully understand. As a man, I will never fully understand what my wife is going through. I will never. Okay? But what I can do is try my best to understand. But if every time she's trying to say something, all I'm doing is responding. It's like every word that she says, I'm responding to that word and I'm not trying to understand. Then do you really love that person? Do you really care about that person? People of color have been crying for years and years and years and years. And this forum, what I'm talking right now, is not the opinion of HPC and Homophobe Worldwide. Yes, I'm the pastor of HPC Homophobe Worldwide. I am the senior pastor. So that means that at the end of the day, whatever I say will affect HPC Homophobe Worldwide. But I'm giving HPC Homophobe Worldwide, the whole body, I'm giving them permission to remove themselves from the things that I'm saying this evening. All right? This is Pastor Gershom Francois, speaking his perspective and from the heart. And what I'm hoping is that you will understand where I'm coming from, and you can probably share some stuff in the comments to enlighten me. All right? People of color have been complaining, have been crying, have been yelling for years. For years. And the problem is, it's a lie. America lied. And that's the truth. America lied. You want to know? I'm going to tell you how America lied to me. And I know there's probably some brothers out there who could relate, but America lied to me. Because America said, okay, the reason why black people are being murdered the way they are by cops is because we intimidate the cops, right? If you're nice to the cops, if you respect the cops, if you're courteous to the cops, if you listen to everything that the cops say, then you should be fine. In my experience, that is a whole lie. I have my kids, I have my nieces and nephews who can back up every statement that I'm saying because they were in the car when I've gotten stopped many times, okay? This is issues, and you have to understand and try to put yourself in my shoe. Imagine yourself, right? You work hard, right? You buy yourself a vehicle, because I was working hard, and people who work in MBNA, my MBNA family who's in the chat right now, in IG and Facebook, MBNA peeps, right now MBNA has become Bank of America. Really, MBNA was the company. We were making money in that company. I worked my tail off, worked hard every single day to make a good living. And I bought my first car. It was a Honda Civic. It only had 103 miles on it. 103 miles. I mean, it was pretty much brand new. The 103 miles, I don't know where it came from. Maybe the car dealership guy, he just wanted to keep driving it around. He put some miles on it. So it was 103 miles. Not 103,000 miles. 103 miles. Less than 1,000 miles on that car. It was my brand new car, and I bought it, right? And I bought it, and I put my first money down. My father's excited, and I'm working my tail off to take care of the car payment. First week of driving it, stopped by a cop. Your tail light's out. I know my tail light out. Can I go to? No, your tail light's out. License, registration, checking me out. Almost every single payday, and I thought that it was a curse of the payday, right? I got paid every 2 weeks. Like every 2 weeks, I got two things. Stopped by a cop, got a ticket. But every week, I was being stopped by a cop. And this went for years. Now, understand where I'm coming from. Being stopped by the cop for years, and then they all keep saying your taillights has issues, and you check your taillights, there's no issues. At a couple of points when I got stopped by the cops and they said my taillight, they wouldn't let me out, and then when I proved, and then every time it got the ticket dismissed, there's nothing wrong with my taillight. They're driving off with their taillights blown. They're missing a taillight. So I was like, who's gonna give those cops a ticket? They became a nuisance, and then one day, it was a cop that stopped me in the evening, and I was driving. The white cop came. He said my taillights and stuff like that. The black cop came by, and then while the white cop is in the car taking care of the stuff, the black cop came to me. And I was like, listen, I keep getting stopped. It makes no sense why I keep getting stopped by these cops. It's like I don't do anything. I'm not speeding. I'm not drawing attention to myself. He's like, dude, it's the car you driving. That's a target. Once we see that car, we automatically know it's either a black person or a Puerto Rican person up in there. Let me tell you something. Do you have any friends or relative with a different type of car? I was like, yeah, I could probably borrow my mom's car. He said, drive your mother's car for 2 weeks and tell me if you ever get stopped. So I tried that. 2 straight weeks, never got stopped. Went back into my car, got stopped. Over and over and over again. One time I was driving and I got into my parking lot. Cops came, right? And then he's like, oh, I'm stopping you because you were speeding. I said, I was speeding? How fast was I going? He said, oh, you was going 35 miles per hour. And I was like, that's the speed limit. He's like, no, it's 25. I said, no, sir. I said that because I drive on Burnett all the time. There's a portion of Burnett, if you watch, before you get to the corner of where Quick Check used to be, now I think it's Quick Stop. That's 40 miles per hour. Then it becomes 35 miles per hour, right? And then after that, it changes again. So I told him, and he was like, no, that's not what it is. I was like, sir, I've been driving on Burnett for over 10 years. I know the speed limit on there. He said, I'm giving you this ticket, go fight it in court. So I had to fight it. But let me tell you what happened. While he was doing that, he's getting smart with me. His partner comes out and she recognizes me immediately. Why? Because we used to go to high school together. And she was trying to tell the partner, just let him go, let him go. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, why am I getting a ticket? I know I'm right about this. She said, yeah, you're right, but just fight it in court. I'm going to give you another example. And I'm not here to try to talk about myself. I'm trying to help you understand my experience. I'm driving on Burnett once again. Green light is for me. I'm driving. This guy, this undercover cop, runs a red light, almost hits me while I'm driving. That junk scared me to death because the speed that he was going, I had to swerve. And while I'm swerving, I'm looking at him like this. I'm like this, scared, right? So then I'm driving, and then after that, I pass Burnett Barbecue, and I'm getting really close to Burnett Barbershop, because that's where I do my hair, get my hair cut. Tony, how you doing, Tony? And the cop turns around, pulls me over, and he walks up to my car and he said, you got a problem with me? I looked at him. I'm still shaking from this whole situation. I said, you almost hit me. He's like, what you say, boy? This dude who's younger than me, you see, I'm a grown man. He said, what did you say, boy? I said, you almost hit me. He said, shut up. You say one more thing, you know what I could do. And I stayed quiet. Why? Because my life was more important than arguing with this fool. And I've had countless situations where why in the world is it that my white counterparts of people, my friends, can drive, get stopped by a cop, say whatever they want to say to a cop, tell the cop, shut up, leave me alone. I'm not going to be waiting for you. Go back into your car and leave me be. And they could easily just go wherever they're going. And then I'm doing everything by the book. I was taught, roll down all your windows. Have all your papers ready. Put your hand underneath the steering wheel. I'm doing all of this thing. First of all, I'm in a suit. Worst thing about it, I even tried to see, okay, if I put my pastorship business card on top of my license, will I be treated any different? No. They don't care. They don't care that I'm a professional. They don't care that I'm suited up. They don't care that I'm a pastor. They still talk to me disrespectfully. Calling me boy, telling me to shut up, tell me you know what's going to happen if you open up your mouth again. Telling me I have no right to ask, officer, is there a reason why I got stopped? Can you please tell me why I got stopped? Shut up. I ain't got to tell you nothing. Just give me your license or registration. First of all, I'm not a disrespectful person. Anybody that knows me, anybody who knows me knows when I speak to you with respect, especially if I'm meeting you for the very first time. If I don't know you, one thing that I do is treat everyone with respect. But have I received the same type of respect from my fellow officers? There was a time that I even used to contribute and give donations to police organizations. And then I stopped. I stopped about 8 years ago. And then every time when they called me, I said the exact same thing. When you guys learn how to respect me as a human being, then I will start contributing again. And every time they would just hang up on my face. They call, they real nice until they hear, when you respect me, oh, shut up. And they hang up. Understand, this has been going on for years. And there was one last time that it was so ugly, right? I have my daughter in the car. She's sleeping. I'm getting stopped for no reason. I know I'm getting stopped for no reason. Because I noticed the cop when I first passed him. And I noticed him when he was following me for about 15 blocks. Following me. What did he stop me with? And he never told me why. He told me, okay, I just wanted to make sure. Let me tell you something. The disrespect that cop gave me, for the very first time, I went from Pastor Gersh mindset to, if I had some type of weapon or something on me and I didn't have my daughter in the car, I would have did something. Do you understand how you go from a peaceful man who was raised to be a man of peace to finally cross over and now think in your mind, if there was some way that I could cause some bodily harm to this person? So it doesn't matter that I'm the pastor of HPC. At that moment, me being a pastor did not matter. At that moment, me being a civilized American did not matter. Because I was fed up and tired of being disrespected over and over and over. And all I do is give respect. What do you expect from a person who is trying to comply every single day of his life, and then he keeps on being disrespected over and over and over by the same group type of people? Do I hate white people? No. I love all people because all people were created in God's image. But there are bad apples. And you want to know what the problem with bad apples? They mess it up for all the good ones. Because there are great cops out there. I know a few great cops. But the anxiety that I've experienced, and this is trauma, because every time I get stopped by a cop, I go through the same trauma. I know I didn't do anything, but I'm wondering, what is it that is going to tick this cop off, that's going to make him cause me some type of bodily harm for nothing? And I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, if you try to do this, that is all out the window, because after what we've seen on May 25th, a guy who's in handcuff, he's no longer a threat, but he's such a threat to you that you have to keep your knee on his neck for 9 minutes. And don't even try to be technical with me and say, well, it was really 8 minutes and a few. I don't want to hear that. There was no reason for his knee to be on his neck to begin with. It's because it's a disregard and a disrespect of life. And the guy, he didn't care. You want to know why he didn't care? Because he got away with it so many times. Just like so many other bad cops out there who take advantage of people's lives because they could get away with it. I'm frustrated and I'm angry because of the total disregard of another human being's life. I have every right to be angry. God is angry. God said, be angry, but sin not. That means, now this comes to my next point. I'm angry, but with all the riots and stuff like that that's going on, I'm not a man of riot. But I understand the anger. But I understand which riot I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the riots that are being started by people who starting it up just to make it look like other people. And this is the issue that I have with my people. Now I'm talking to my people. We could come together and be angry about something. But how much of that anger is going to translate into change? And now I'm talking to my people, because at the end of the day, the people who could really change and change all of this thing, it has to start with us. Now, I know it's not going to be a popular sentence that I just now said, but try to remember in the beginning when I said it is better for you to understand than to just respond. If we need change, the change have to start with us. And what do I mean by that? Am I saying that we haven't suffered it? We suffered it. We suffered way more than enough. The amount of suffering that we have, we should not be going through. We shouldn't be suffering like this. We unify ourselves when it comes to anger. But what about unity in the other sense? Matthew 12:25. And yes, I'm going to get biblical with you because I'm a pastor. And the word is my light. And whether you want to accept the word or not, or if you don't want that's up to you. But for me, the word is my light. It is what keep me grounded. Is what keep me from purchasing a gun and popping a cap in a cop just because of anger. It is the word of God that keep me grounded. Because I bleed just like you bleed. I feel the same anger just like you do. I feel the same frustration just like you do. I experience the same injustice just like you do. But something that my father always told me, when you're angry, check yourself. Check yourself, Gersh. You angry? I'll respect the fact that you're angry, but check yourself. Don't allow your anger to drive you. All right? But you control your anger and you make sure you create change. And that's what I want to talk about. Matthew 12:25, it says, "But Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house divided against itself will not stand." I'm going to say this whole verse again because y'all need to get it in your minds. And I know some people don't like what I'm saying right now, and I'm going to say it anyway. If I'm wrong, then educate me. I'm here to listen. I'm here to be educated. I'm here to be able to understand your perspective. Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand. What do I get from that particular verse? Black people, how many times have things happened to us? We took a stand and then we remained divided within ourselves. Every time an issue comes up, we get ticked off. And then you know what America does? They dangle a little Gucci belt, a little Twitter feed, right? Twitter feed. We're mad about this. They're like, oh, shiny object. Oh, let me run and get this shiny object. How in the world do you expect for the world to respect you if you can't even stay focused on the issue at hand? They just killed a man in broad daylight, and he smiled while doing it. He looked at the cameras. They're not even afraid of cameras anymore. The camera was there, and he just stood there like, it's simple. They gonna get mad for a second, but then we're gonna always find a way to beat the system because the system was made for us. Have no regard, no respect. Before they used to be afraid. They don't want to get caught. But now they're like, all we got to do is dangle a shiny object and these black people going to forget about this. And they're going to turn, ooh. And I'm sorry if I'm saying Gucci. No, I'm not sorry. Because the Gucci gang, right? Fendi, Louis Vuitton. Like, it just dangles. Guess what? Jordans are coming out on the 5th and 6th. Look to see how many people are going to stay focused on the fact that one of their brothers is killed and gone forever. All those lives that he was touching, that he was changing, that he was helping to change in the community, they lost a soul. It's bad enough we don't have enough good people speaking, and they keep taking good people away from us. And then all we're left with is, I'm tired. I'm telling you, I'm really tired of it. I'm tired of all of these videos with these guys with their fake money. They ain't got no money, and they change talk about, yeah, we're lit. You're not lit. You're corny. You're boring. And then we got too many of our people that praise these people with their dumb music. And I don't care how you feel about how I'm giving you my opinion. The music is dumb. They can't speak English. They got no substance. one hit wonders just over here, and then everybody just gravitates. Oh, I just want to be like him. What we need is true leadership, and we need to stay focused. The senseless killing will continue on. The system will continue on until we get our stuff together, and then we put in position people in power that will affect change. But it starts with the house that needs to stop being divided within itself. Let me give you an example. We got certain companies that support certain ideas that is counterproductive to us becoming a better nation. We have companies who blatantly say, I don't care about you black people. But guess what? You'll go buy those items anyway. How many one of you are willing to say, from this day forward, I'm no longer supporting these type of businesses again. I'm going to the local business. I'm not gonna wear, and sorry if I'm throwing names out, I'm not gonna wear Coach anymore. I'm just, looking at followers, 30. If Coach is afraid of me, then there's something wrong, okay? I'm not going to wear Coach. I'm not going to wear Fendi. I'm not going to wear Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. I'm going to go to a local person. I don't have a design. Who design? I know a specific designer. I don't know everybody by name, but one that jumps up to me very quickly is Ashanti Bowers. Oh, I want to dress from Ashanti Bowers. Wearing Ashanti Bowers instead of all of these other. Support her business. You want to eat food? Support your bakery, your local bakeries. Support the people who are in your community. Are you able to do that without? Because let me tell you something. I come from a community of Haitians, and I have a problem. This is one of the problems I have with Haitians, and I'm going to say it. And I don't care if anybody have a problem with me saying this. If I am okay, I'm going to use myself as an example so that you won't get your feelings hurt, okay? If I'm a Haitian restaurant, and let's say, for instance, I'm in Irvington. I don't know what is the demographic of Haitians in Irvington, but let's say there's 3,000 Haitians in Irvington, okay? I'm one restaurant. I know that my capacity for the day of feeding mouths is about 150 to 200 customers, right? There's 3,000 Haitians in Irvington. I cannot feed 3,000 Haitians in Irvington with my one store. Okay? So guess what? That means other Haitian stores can open up and serve the rest of the community, and I should not feel threatened because of their existence. Do you know there are some Haitian restaurants, they know they ain't got the food, but they'll tell you to come anyway, and they'll have you wait for 30, 40, an hour for food that don't even exist because they don't want you to go to another store, but they're destroying their customer service. They're destroying the customer relationship to the point where you say, you know what, I'm never coming here anymore. I have about 4 Haitian restaurants. I don't ever go to them anymore. You want to know why? Because they lie too much. They have me waiting for years. Listen, my store can only feed 150 to 200 customers today. If somebody calls me, hey, listen, this is me. Everybody who knows me, they know this is me. This is what Gersh would do. Because Gersh would find out who the other stores is, build a relationship with the store. What are you good at? What do you know how to do? Do you know what Gersh is going to do? Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm selling. I am booked today. So if you mind waiting for an hour, you can wait for an hour. But what I'm letting you know, Sister Marie down the street on the corner of 18th and Melrose, she's ready. I don't know if that's really there, but she's ready. She doesn't have any customers. Her Lalo is really, really good. You like Lalo? Go get some Lalo from her. Another person, oh yeah, you got to do something. Go get it from her. Because I want to make sure that they have the best service, not only from me, but the fact that I can refer. But guess what? You know what that Haitian restaurant would do? Oh, thank you, Gershom. Thank you, Gersh, for sending the person to me. And you know what they're going to do? Don't ever go to Gersh restaurant. You can stay with me. Why sabotage? Why? What is wrong with you? Say thank you and then return the favor. You know what Gersh would do? Gertrude call all these restaurants. What are you good at? What are you good at? What are you good at? Okay, you know what? This week, we're going to have Lalo week. We're going to send all the customers to your store to get your Lalo. What are you good at? Cremas? Okay, next week is going to be week of cremas. Everybody want the best tasting cremas? Go to that store. You want to know what's going to end up happening? 3,000 Haitians will be fed. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to keep coming to all of our restaurants. But y'all don't believe in that. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. You want to know why America could do what they could do to us? Because the moment we see a shiny object, we're going to abandon our cause and we're going to go after the shiny object. I challenge you, every single person in here. Look at yourself. Look how you carry your own house. We're not even talking about community yet. Look how you carry your own house. Fathers, mothers, single parents, kids. Look how you live in your own house, and ask yourself the question: is what I'm doing helping those people to continue to oppress me, or am I empowering myself and my generation to come so that we can become less and less dependent upon them? Look at your own house first, right? And then once we do that with the house, then we can say, okay, we as a community, we as a church, all right? Maybe you don't want to hit the community first. Maybe you want to get the church to all agree together in that. And then imagine if every single church now has the same idea. Listen, we're going to now protect ourselves. We're going to take care of ourselves. We're going to pay attention. We're going to go to these school meetings. We're going to go to the parent-teacher meetings. We're going to be present. We're going to be present when they have the township meeting, town hall meeting. We're going to be there. We're going to make our voice known. We're going to make it heard. And guess what? And if y'all don't listen to us, guess what? We're going to attack you guys where it hurts the most, and that's the dollar. If you don't see my dollar anymore, are you going to listen to me now? But nobody's going to do that. You want to know why? Because that new dangling thing is coming. There's layers to this. Understand something. This oppression that we're going through and we're facing every single day of our lives, they got hundreds of years a head start on us. It's a tactic for they playing chess. They got this all figured out. They know exactly how to manipulate us, how to fool us. Because I'm looking at videos where people are showing, look, this is not even us spray painting the building. Look at them. And they're gonna come after us because of our color. You join with them to vandalize businesses that you are going to be asking, can you please hire me tomorrow? You burning down businesses, right? And then you need a job. Don't you think that those who are higher up are happy? You want to know why? Because while you're destroying your whole town, guess what? Now you can't live. Guess what? Now you got to relocate, and we're going to take over your cities. We're going to change it around, and we're going to make it our city. You gotta think. You have every right to be mad, but you gotta think. A kingdom divided against itself will not stand. It cannot. You can't survive. You burning your own city, the same city you gotta sleep in. But then you look at all of the other white neighborhoods, they don't feel nothing. They don't see nothing. Hear no evil, see no evil. They don't breathe nothing. They're good. You want to know why? Because we're destroying ourselves. They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is just give a suggestion, and then we jump and we fall for it. When are we going to start thinking? Did I tell you that you have no right to be mad? I didn't say nothing about you being mad. I said when you're mad, be mad, but use your brain. Think. They keep taking advantage of us because we give them permission to. We give them permission to, not by us saying, please do it. We give them permission when we keep falling over and over for their traps, for their tactics. We keep doing the exact same thing over and over. When are we going to change? And I gave you very easy solutions that we can do right now. How many people are really going to do it? Because guess what? May 5th and May 6th, you're going to see how many Jordans get sold. A new album drop. You're going to see how many people just now dancing to the TikTok to the new song. And everybody forgot the cause. I don't know who it was, but it was some guy, football player. I think he was white. He said, this is not a situation where you could be angry and then stop being angry. You need to stay angry. Because if you allow yourself to get cold and, okay, it's old news and then now let's go back to life, then all of this was for nothing. There are people who are Christians who say prayer is the key and we're going to pray. Pray. There are people who are so angry, they feel that violence is the key and they're going to be violent. Let me tell you something. I can't do anything to stop people from being violent who already caused the violence. But I'm hoping I'm helping the people who's thinking about being violent to stop for a second and think for a second. Because I told you, and I've already expressed to you, Peacemaker Gersh, Pastor Gersh went from Peacemaker Gersh to, if I had a weapon, I would pop a cap in this police officer right now. All right? Do you understand? Do you understand the type of trauma and the annoyance that a person would have to keep on doing to get me to that level? Understand something. This is abuse of power from cops since 1998. And it was around 2018 when I said, you know what? I'm really done with these cops. Do you understand? You see? And people who know me know that I have a very, very high patience threshold. And I was done. I was done. And thank God there was no way that I had a weapon, because I am convinced that at the level of anger that I was at that point, because of the disrespect and the fact that they keep taking advantage of me, I would have done something. I know for a fact I would have done something. Because it was so fresh in my mind and the anger was so crisp. Thank God there was no weapon. Pastor Gersh would have became a felon on that day. And then everybody would be like, oh my gosh, Pastor Gersh is so mean, he's so bad. And then the problem is we keep looking at issues from the surface, not understanding there was a root problem. People are not going to say, oh, Gersh got an anger problem, he shot a cop. Oh, look at him, he's a hypocrite. He's not a real Christian. Do you understand the level? Do you understand when you're a father and you have your kids in the car and they're looking at their dad like, this cop is really disrespecting. You can't do a thing. My job is to protect my kids. And I could not protect them. And I had to allow the cops to disrespect me, call me a boy, tell me to shut up in front of my kids. And then you think that cops that keep doing, imagine someone who is naturally violent because of the environment that they grew up in. They were always in fights. And then we look at the person who got mad at the cops and look, oh, you see how bad these kids are? Cops, come on, man. What is your problem? They purposely keep pushing and pushing. And then after that, when the person finally snaps, do you understand that there are things that happen to cops that me as a Christian person, I should be like, oh my gosh, Lord, have mercy. My first reaction was like, dang, they probably had that coming. Why is that in my head? Do I want to think like that? Do I want that to be my first reaction when I think of a cop? Why do I think like that? Why? Because of what I had to endure for years and years and years till this very day. I'm driving on my own block and cops are checking me. Do you really live here? What kind of question is that? I remember I bought two vehicles when I was married. I had an Acura 3.2 CL and I had the Lexus that I had bought for my wife. I remember the first time I pulled them both in and I put it in the driveway. Proud of the fact that I worked hard. She worked hard. We got something. And then the cop looking at, is that really your car? What are you talking about? But yet, my white brothers and sisters, they can do whatever they like. I've even seen white people beat up on cops and they never had a gun drawn. I'm a peacemaker with a suit on. And the cop is holding his holster. Ready. He's ready. Ready for what? Why are you so heated? Why are you so mad right now? Because of my light. Okay, my light is out, so you need to hold your gun. You see all the windows are down. My hand is out. And I'm going like this, looking like an idiot. I'm sitting like this, looking like an idiot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In front of my kids. And I still can't get any respect. So I don't want to hear anybody say, well, you have to do this, you have to do... No, it's not about we have to do this, this, that. We need to get the bad cops out. They need to get fired. We need the good cops. We need to incentivize them that if there's a bad cop in the precinct, they get ratted out. They lose their jobs. I'm not one who want people losing their job, but bad cops need to lose their job. There's no reason for them to be a cop. It is a system that was set up for failure of the black man, because I refuse to believe that every black person that got arrested was bad. You want to know why? Because I got arrested before. And I didn't do anything wrong. I got arrested before. Even the neighbors was trying to tell the cop, oh, we were here the whole time. Brother man ain't do a thing. And you know what the cop said? You still gotta go. Why? And then when I was in the precinct, and then a black cop said, dang, man, they just wanted you in the system. That's all. They just wanted you in the system. This is the world that we live in. But you want to know what is a bigger and deeper problem than that? Is the fact that my brothers and sisters who are black, a lot of them are going to forget. And they're going to go right back to their old ways. They're going to go right back in supporting these businesses. They're going to go right back into acting the fool. Instead of say, you know what? Today is an epiphany. May 25th should have been an epiphany for all of us black people. And then we say, you know what? We need to now sit down. We need to go to a drawing board. We need to get organized. We need to start taking care of ourselves. We need to affect change by changing us first. But there's a problem. It's not that they don't want to. Because I understand that trauma is serious. Some of us don't even know how to. But I'm not getting on those who don't know how to and they're so traumatized that they don't know which way to go. I'm getting on the ones who are educated enough to start the trend of change, who are choosing not to. I'm educated enough to say, you know what? I'm willing to sit down in a few meetings, educate myself a little bit better, know what type of things I need to do. Because I don't have all the answers. I definitely don't have all the answers. But there are people who went to school for things like this. Who went at years of learning different systems. They need to step up. They need to say, listen, I know a method. And they need to get together, figure out something that will work in different type of areas, and then get people like me to sit in on these meetings. And then I can get another brother, another sister, and then we just slowly but surely start making change. But one of the easiest ways to make change, and I'm going to keep on saying this, support your local businesses. Don't spend another dollar on all these organizations that are. You want to flag my page and say, look what Pastor Gersh is saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mentioned a designer before. Y'all could start putting your designers on here. I know Sister Joanne has a designer. I said Ashanti Bowers because I know Ashanti Bowers because I was going to use her, because I was thinking about even my daughter's prom and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm going to go to Ashanti Bowers, make my daughter a dress and stuff. So I know Ashanti Bowers. But y'all know some peoples. Put them peoples on. If you want to go to restaurants, I go to Donnie's Restaurant. That's my spot. You want to know why? Because the other one that was in Irvington, just didn't know what she was. I didn't know what she was talking about. She knows I'm in. When I was a musician, I don't even know if she's still there. I'm a musician. You see, and that's the mentality that I'm talking about. I'm a musician. I don't cook. Well, I do cook, but I don't own a restaurant. Okay, it's not called Bass Guitar Restaurant of the Haitian Community. I play the bass guitar for HPC. Okay, I just asked the lady a very simple question. What kind of rice is that? Because it tastes so good. She wouldn't tell me. She said because she don't want me stealing her business. How am I gonna steal your business? I'm a musician. I don't even have a restaurant. So how am I gonna steal? I'm going all of a sudden I'm just gonna be in church on the pulpit just making rice so everybody can start buying rice on Sunday mornings. Come on. That is so stupid. She doesn't want me, little old Gersh, who plays the bass guitar, to steal her business. And because of that, I don't go to her business no more. These Haitian, and it's not just Haitian. I've seen so many different other restaurants. They don't think. So what they need, young people, Some of you are going to school for business. You need to get these people together. You need to sit down with these owners of these businesses and say, listen, I went to business school. I want to share some of my knowledge with you. Why don't you come? I will mentor you and show you how to have good customer service. Because a lot of them need some good customer service practice because they don't know what in the world they're doing. Okay, I'm going ahead because I'm getting really passionate about the wrong thing. It's about food. But think about what I'm talking about. If I own a business that can only take care of 150 and there's 3,000 in there, I should not be feeling threatened by another business that does the same thing that I do. Find out about that business, find out what they do well, encourage them, tell them what you did well, and you'll work together. Work together. Support the businesses that are there. Ashanti Bauer's phone should be ringing, so she should say something like, yo, I'm booked for the rest of the year. Let me refer you to somebody else. This is what needs to start happening. People who have bakeries and like, you know what? I'm booked for the rest of the year. I know somebody else in this area, in that area, and they do this type of style, that type of style. There's no reason for us to sabotage each other's business. There's more than enough money to go around. And stop burning your own businesses. If you're mad at so-and-so, don't burn Shaquina because of something Marie did. You mad at Marie, go to Marie, talk to Marie. Shaquina ain't got nothing to do with anything, and you're going to burn Shaquina's house and her store. Why? Because I'm mad at Marie. We got 6 more minutes. I don't know if I should stop at 8:30 and come back on because I really want to hear your guys' thoughts. And I'm willing even to get you guys on the phone. If y'all want to call in and say, you know what, I want to share a couple of things with the audience, Gersh, I'm willing for you to do the same. And all of these gangbangers, right? I got something to say to the gangbangers. Y'all got code of ethics for the gangs. You know, certain people, and it's not supposed to come to your block. Certain people are not supposed to even come into your city without even announcing it. Certain people are not, like, this no-fly zone. You can't come around this area. You can't even come. They have all these code. No snitch code. Do not snitch if they do anything. But they real quiet with people disrespecting our people. I mean, you got the guts to kill your own, right? And then you have some hillbilly come, right? Killing your own kind, and then you're extremely quiet. I'm not telling the gangbangers to go out there and start shooting people. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I mean, gangbangers, they're you better watch what you say. You better watch the color that you wear, stuff like that. But then a serious issue like this is happening, and then you can hear the birds chirping. Does that make any sense? So you're telling me killing your own is much more valuable than for you to band together and say, you know what? We're not going to allow harm to come to our city anymore. We're going to protect our city. Why don't you do that? Somebody says Zimmerman should not be walking right now. He's walking right now. and because of who? It's crickets. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I just wanted to share my feelings. This is my perspective. This is not HPC's perspective. Somebody in HPC might feel totally different than I feel. Some people I know are offended by some of the things that I said. But I'm speaking from my experience. And I'm going to keep saying this again. The easiest way to get me angry is affecting my house, my family. And everybody should know that. Every man should be that. I think it should be a natural reaction that every man wants to protect his own. And the fact that I couldn't even, I was treated less than a man in front of my kids. That image is like forever, seared into my brain. We say forgive. Yeah, I forgave, but I can't forget. And then I use it as, and it's sad, I have to use it as a template to realize that it doesn't matter how respectful and nice and sweet I am. It does not matter. whatever they want to do is what they're going to do. And I want to stop worrying every time I get stopped by a cop. Is this the day that I'm going to get shot for no reason? Why should I have to think like that? It makes no sense. I don't know. Like I ask you guys, do y'all want me to come back, or do y'all feel like I said enough and we could call it a night? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm lost. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just fed up. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm tired of not having a solution. I want a solution. I'm a solution-based guy. If you bring a problem to me, everybody knows that. You bring a problem to me, I want to find an answer. Even if I'm not the person who got the answer, I want to point you to the right direction. Somebody said, save this. I'll save it. Right? Or trying to call somebody to make sure someone knows what's going on. It's just sad. It's really sad. All right. Some people are saying, come back. So I will come back. I will come back. And what I would like is, if there's anybody that have anything that they wanted to share or say, and they don't mind being on camera with me, let's do that. We could come together. And for those of you who are leaving for the rest of the evening, I would like to thank you for listening. I hope that you listen with a ear of understanding rather than an ear of response. That you really take in consideration the things that I said, and if you forget some of the things I said, it should be saved when we end this call. And have these conversations with your families, and really think about what I said about that dollar. You want to affect them now? We have the ability to affect them with the almighty dollar. We can do that today. We don't even have to wait. It doesn't have to be system. It doesn't have to be a system change. We can choose to say, my money's staying in the community, and that's it. That's set. All right, so it's going to end right now, and then I'll come back in about 3 minutes.